flexing like these bitches do. You could see it in my pictures, bitches, nothing new. I ain't talking about my revenue. Blessed with every second that I get to do exactly what I dreamed of when I was a little kid.
Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, thank you for choosing to watch this video. As you can see from the title, this is a day in my life as a digital marketer. I work as a digital marketing associate at a French brand in New York City. If you're not coming from my previous video, let me give you a little bit of a background. So right now I am actually in India, but I'm still working New York hours. For me, it is actually 5 p.m. India time right now, but in New York it's around 7 a.m. so it's usually around this time when I start work, and then I close up around like 1 a.m. my time. If you haven't watched the previous video, it's where I actually give you a lot more background into what my job is, what my roles and responsibilities are, what I typically do day to day. But I did go into a lot of detail about CRM, which is one of the platforms of digital marketing that I report on, that I partially manage. Today's video is mostly just going to be like a continuation of part 1 of this day in my life as a digital marketer series. Since the part 1 was so email heavy, I kind of want to cover a lot more like platforms or channels that I work on in this video. Today is actually May 5th. It's a Wednesday, and at the beginning of the month we usually have like meetings to catch up on what happened with performance the previous month. So like I said in my last video, we have the big email performance meeting today. If you want to know what I'm talking about, again, you'll just have to watch the last video because I don't want to get into it again. And other than that, I actually have 2 other meetings today. The first meeting this morning is going to be a team stand-up, which we usually have every Wednesday. We just started this when we started working remotely last year. It's just a way for all of us in the digital marketing team to kind of stay connected with what is going on overall. So we'll talk about like figures from last week, the last month, how we're faring against our projected revenue goal, any projects we're working on across the different channels, and then we also discuss some ways to like make our performance better, optimize things, and then we actually end the call with an achievements part, if you will, where we kind of just take a minute each to talk about our achievements from the previous week. This can be anything from a personal achievement to completing a small project to completing a big project to exploring a new possibility in terms of like tools and stuff. The other meeting I have today is with our paid search agency. Again, we have these calls also on a weekly basis just to kind of stay connected with the agency, see what's been happening with our campaigns. Like I said in my last video, I'm involved with a lot of like A/B testing across all the channels. So we've been doing some A/B testing on the paid search channel, and so in today's call we're just probably going to be catching up on how the tests are performing. It's going to be a very meeting heavy day. I'm going to be up till really late today because there's just so much to do. At my company, I'm not usually in a lot of meetings, which I prefer that way because I feel like there is no time to do any deep work when you're always like hopping on and off meetings, because it's not just the meeting, it also takes like a lot of prep work to, you know, be present at the meeting, and then after the meeting there's a lot of like follow-up tasks and things like that. I think I'm going to get a head start by just starting the digital marketing overall report. So we have this report where I pull in information from all the different channels of digital marketing, but a heavy focus in this report is definitely the paid search channel. Usually this report takes me like 2 days to fully get done because it just feeds off of a lot of other reports which need to be completed before this one. But since I don't have a lot of time today in between meetings, I'm just going to work on pulling the information from the different platforms that we use. So for paid search, we actually use Google Analytics and we use Google AdWords. Obviously, probably tomorrow I will sit and compile the other reports, and then finally the digital marketing report. So yesterday, if you remember, we had the meeting with our Amazon rep where we kind of discussed all of the ongoing projects that we had, and so I have to send her a follow-up email with some of the details. She was asking about one of our campaigns. We do have our agencies working in France, the company headquarters in France, and so all of those people work different times. So typically when I start work, I typically have like emails from them because they've already been working. So I like to get all of my emails answered, all of my emails like read and understood. So now I'm gonna check all my emails, see what's up, and then I will send that email to the Amazon rep. And after that, I think I will get started on the digital marketing report. This is typically what digital marketers do. It's very much hands-on in a lot of different projects at the same time. So you definitely have to be very good at juggling different projects and not getting anxious or stressed about things. Sun is right about to set, and look how beautiful. We also track our organic social KPIs. Organic social is basically just anything we post organically on our Facebook page, on our Instagram, on our Twitter. And so we started tracking organic social a lot more like regularly since the pandemic last year, because at the time we stopped running like some paid search and paid social ads due to budget constraints and things like that. But that's when we started tracking organic, and now it's become like another one of those monthly things. So I also have a separate like Google sheet for that, which I set up to kind of just automatically be able to track like month over month data and year over year data. But for organic social, I first need to go into this tool that we use. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's called Sprout Social. If you're in marketing, you probably know Sprout Social. And Sprout Social is the platform or the tool we use to kind of track our organic social stats, like how many posts we had, how many retweets, how many replies, how many likes, all of that. So I will just like do like a export of a report that already exists on Sprout Social. So it's not like I'm pulling like each KPI separately on my own. Add that export to the Google Sheet that I've created, and then once I add that export, the Google Sheet will automatically coincide the dates with the data, and then give me like a monthly view, which I think is super cool. I'm kind of a nerd for all these Excel things, because it's just make your life easier, and it's also a very, very valuable skill to have. Employers really look for advanced Excel skills, so definitely make sure if you're trying to get into any kind of corporate job that you have sound Excel skills. It's always going to be like a valuable skill to have. So I'm going to work on that organic social report. It's going to take me about like an hour, not more than that. It's like 9:20 New York time right now, and I am prepping a little bit for the meeting at 9:30 a.m. So typically we, like I said, share updates from like all of the marketing channels. So I'm sharing some updates from the email channel in the meeting, and then I'm also gonna be sharing my achievement for the week. So I'm gonna prep for that, and then immediately after that call, I think I have 10 minutes between that call and the call with the paid search agency. And with the paid search agency, recently we've been working on a lot of new things. So one, we're working on A/B testing the ad copies. So A/B testing is basically just testing any one element of the ad. It can be either the ad format or like the actual copy, or the picture itself. Since it's the beginning of a new month, we're also working on last month's reports. So typically the agency in the first call of the month will present like a quick recap on performance from the previous month, any highlights, any insights, any wins, and any losses. So it's good to kind of have a look at the data before the call, so I know what's really going on or what they're talking about.
So Alex shared with me the Excel file that you guys have been working to update those flags, and I just wanted to understand if there was a timeline.
Thanks, Hannah. My accomplishment would just be getting started on April reporting. Okay, so done with the 2 meetings that I had this morning, and I have some follow-up work to do from those meetings, but I'm gonna take a quick break for dinner. I just don't like working constantly without taking breaks, because I just cannot concentrate that way. Like, I have an hour before the next meeting starts, so I probably will take like 30 minutes and then come back and probably do the digital marketing report that I was talking about. I still haven't had the chance to start that. It has to be done by the end of this week, so it's not like it's urgent, but I do need like 2 days for it, so I think it should be good to start it today. Hello.
Hello. How are you, Ravi?
Good, how are you?
System update.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So I think she'll probably respond to that email when she has the time to look at it, but thank you for that update. So I have 1 hour between my next meeting, and honestly I was hoping to have much more time to do this report today, but it's not looking like it. I'm just gonna quickly talk you guys through what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna spend like the next hour or so before the meeting kind of just getting all of the data collected onto the Google Sheet, and then tomorrow I'll probably sit and start compiling everything, because today I don't have the time for that. So right now I'm just going to go into Google Analytics and Google AdWords. From Google AdWords, we use KPIs like impressions, clicks, basically all the engagement KPIs like our impression share, competitor impression share, etc. And then from Google Analytics, we will use things like sessions, how many people clicked on to the website and how many website sessions we had. And we will look at transactions, we will look at like revenue and things like that. So we have this Google Sheet set up where we collect the information campaign-wise from AdWords as well as Google Analytics and put it together, and then from there we have a couple of charts that feed into like the monthly reporting deck. Just to recap, yesterday was kind of email heavy, did all my monthly reporting, did my meeting document. This morning we had 2 meetings, and then this evening we have 2 other email meetings. So that is what I worked on yesterday, all the things that I needed to have for today's meeting. And then this morning I worked a little bit on my organic social report that I showed you guys, and then right now I'm going to be working on the paid search report, and then tomorrow I'll probably compile all of that data together for the month of April. And then towards the end of the week I'm going to be focusing probably Friday on Amazon, which is another channel that I didn't cover in this video at all, but that's also what I work on. Let me know if you guys found this useful. Maybe I'll do like another video if you guys like it. But I really enjoy talking about my work for a change. Like I really think digital marketing is so interesting. There's always things changing, there's always things evolving. It's also a very lucrative career. But yeah, for the rest of the day I'm just going to be attending meetings, so I don't think that's going to be too interesting.
Reminder, and we close the month with a semi-annual sale using size guide for the...
Thank you. I'm on the performance deck right now, and then we can start with going over April, which is also plus 5% to goal and plus 53% year over year. Okay guys, it's 3 a.m. and I'm too tired to properly close out this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, got to actually learn what it's like being a digital marketer, and you know where to leave any additional questions you may have. So I will go to bed now. I really need to.
I ain't flexing like these bitches do. You could see it in my pictures, bitches, nothing new.